Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the fourth day of the road to B.A.L 2026 East Division Group E. And today we do have Dolphins versus Ferroviario de Beira. And we begin with Ferroviario de Beira. Wearing jersey number 7 is none other than Thomas Joshua. Jersey number 8, Nomnande Ismail. Jersey number 9, Bocham Keturas. Jersey number 10, Bios Uram. Jersey number 11, Ona Elves. Jersey number 13, Obise Elton. Jersey number 14, Oriaki Chandler. Jersey number 15, Novella Emelino. Jersey number 17, Mugwambe Ayad. Jersey number 18, Maigu El Cid. Jersey number 20, Malali Hilario. Jersey number 22, Chirombe Silio. And the coaches, Newton Maheira and assistant coach Amildo Takidia. We go to the Dolphins, wearing jersey number 1, Ramaru Wilson. Wearing jersey number 2, Tishege Tlotlo. Jersey number 3, Ntanyanya Kesabaka. Jersey number 5, Deleose Kendrick. Jersey number 6, Gabaron Taelo Tutu. Jersey number 10, Baidisang Tilo Yaone. Jersey number 15, Mbaiwa Baungani Joshua. Jersey number 20, Chafiga Tino Tenda. Jersey number 22, Tekesu Tabako Otsile. Jersey number 23, Gaiza George Cisco. Jersey number 24, Thomas Dominic. And jersey number 33, Motsadra Tinkani. Then the coaches are Mafoko Paka Mongane and Trinos Moyo. And our crew chief for today is Shabani from Tanzania. Then our umpires, Yagesh Roswan from Mauritius and Sandebesa from Zambia. Our commissioner for this morning is Tony Sofrimento. Enjoy the game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Following on those remarks from the stadium speaker, a warm welcome to the Nasdaq Center in Lusaka, Zambia. You're watching coverage of the Road to B.A.L 2026 on the FIBA YouTube channel. And we are just about ready to get underway with the opening fixture for day number 4. It's flying by. We're almost at the home end of the tournament. And today's matchup featuring teams from Botswana and Mozambique. The Dolphins Basketball Club facing off against Ferroviario de Beira. Now, Ferroviario de Beira is off to a tremendous start here in the tournament, 3-0 coming into today's matchup, and trying to extend that unbeaten league into tomorrow's match with a leg up on the competition in looking for one of those spots in the Elite 16. The Dolphins, on the other hand, looking for their first win of the tournament. They've had a tough slog so far. Yesterday they came up against the other unbeaten team in the competition, that of course being the Johannesburg Giants from South Africa, dropping that battle in the end by a 55-36 margin. And for the Mozambicans, it was a slightly closer affair as the Bravehearts from Malawi tested the team from Mozambique sternly. However, it was Beira coming out in the end 94-88. So a third consecutive 90-plus offensive output for the Railwaymen, and that bodes something for today, and that's going to be the challenge for that Dolphins basketball club to try to rein in the offensive prowess that is the Railway Club de Beira. So we're just moments away from the opening tip-off in this first of 3 fixtures today from the Nasdaq Center. And good to see some of the fans, family, and faithful coming into the live chat on the YouTube channel. You're all very welcome. And hopefully we're going to get a good matchup today, although I do think that fair is fair. We would have to consider Ferroviario de Beira, the odds-on favorites, and by no small margin for the Dolphins. But we saw already that miracles do happen here in this venue as the home side Matero managed to come back in a match that they trailed really from start to finish and had to win in overtime. Then did Matero against a very spirited Basket Hounds team, and a heartbreaking loss for Basket Hounds, falling to the Zambian side Matero. As the teams get out onto the hardwood, we are just about ready to go. Today's game will be adjudicated by our arbitrage team under the leadership of head referee Chibani. Boriaki versus Ngeza, and the tip won by the Mozambicans. Ball out of bounds and a turnover, and the Dolphins take over possession. Ball be brought up court by the point guard for Dolphins. That is Kendrick James Delahousse. He will run that offense for as long as he is in the game. That's usually the lion's share of the playing minutes available. Shot from three, a little bit long. The rangefinders need to be adjusted. Josh Thomas running the point, the American import for Beira. Laid up and in off the glass for the opening points of the game, and the Mozambicans have opened their account here in the first session of the day. Ball down in the low post is mishandled. Recovered well. And a shot from three, this time too short, so third time may be the charm. De Beira moving quickly. Denied the fast escape by the Dolphins. And Josh Thomas will head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Thomas's first attempt up and in. Thomas perfect from the free throw line. Jumper from the free throw line. Brought up court quickly by Thomas, but he'll circle back and allow the offense to set up shop. Toughest shot in basketball, that mid-range jumper. And here come the Dolphins. Second chancer is up and in, and the Dolphins open their account. So 4-2. Early lead taken by the Mozambicans, and here's a shot from three outside the perimeter, and the first three-pointer of the game goes on the score sheet on the side of De Beira. So heading to the charity stripe to shoot a pair. Dolphins looking to cut that 5-point margin. Now it's 4. Cisco Ngaiza shooting the free throws for Dolphins basketball club. 2-2. A fruitful trip to the free throw line for the Dolphins. Josh Thomas brings the ball up towards the timeline. Three-point attempt off the screen from Oriaki, two and then a third rebound, a third chance rather, yields results for the team in green. Kicked out to Gaborone. Gaborone unable to connect on a three-point attempt. And the ball dribbles out of bounds and is now the property of the Railway team. Thomas swings the ball out to the far wing. Three-pointer is no good. Give and go to Ngaizi is no good. Three-pointer off the mark. Thomas brings the ball over the middle stripe. Centers it. Dished out wide to Magwamba. One of the key players for the Mozambicans who tried to go baseline and ended up stepping on the out-of-bounds line. Delahousie will inbound to Ramabu. Ngaizi can't get it to fall. However, Cisco and Ngaiza will head to the foul line, the free throw line rather, to shoot a couple. Hits the first of two. And slips the second one in as well. Ball tipped back to Thomas. James Thomas opted not to take the screen provided by Oriaki. Goes to the basket, gets his own rebound. But it's finally Chandler Oriaki with the putbacker. And Ferroviario maintain a 5-point margin. Physical play from the Mozambicans does not pay off with a turnover and capitalized on by the Dolphins. Thomas centers, stops, pops, and misses. Delahousie got the ball up court quickly and tried to dish for a lay-in. Did not get the completion they were looking for. Terrius Boucham coming up empty. Yeah, the Dolphins caught the Railman's defense sleeping a bit. And round off a nice fast break. All tied up at 11 apiece. Boucham swings to Thomas. Thomas from deep. Coming up short. Another quick pass downfield. Lovely bit of passing. They opt to reset the offense, though. And a wonderful offensive possession for the Dolphins. As they're starting to really trade blows with the Mozambicans. Shot for three. Short. Own rebound taken by Magwamba. And they opt for the shorter game and pick up a field goal that way. Ball into low post, turnaround jumper, good. One of the toughest shots in basketball, executed to perfection. Thomas had to handle the hot potato. Beira stays in possession. And we'll get a double substitution for the Mozambicans. Magwamba and Josh Thomas both will be rested. Moriaki puts one up. Malala trying to back his way into a basket. He is fouled in the act of shooting. And Hilario Malala will head to the charity stripe to attempt 2 free throws. Busham defers to Ubisa. And a wonderful slash into the paint is rewarded with 2 points for the Dolphins. Off to a really good start out of the Botswana side. Coming in here today with something to prove. They do not want to leave this tournament empty-handed. Trip to the Elite 16 is all but out of the picture. But a win against tournament favorites would certainly be a lovely souvenir to take back to Botswana from Zambia. 4-point lead for Dolphins. Steal and a turnover. Katerius. They had needed a couple of whacks at it to finally get it to fall, but fall it does. And they cut the margin to 2. Going baseline and finding the back door unlocked. The Dolphins get themselves a bucket. 3-pointer from the wing. Comes up short, but the rebound is for Magwamba. Here's a shot from Malala. Away with empty pockets, and now a chance for the cephalopods. Left short, rebound Dolphins. Delahousse left waiting. Package was delivered to the wrong address. Block shot in the paint, ruled a foul by the lead official. And we will shoot 2. A man from Dallas, Texas. Katerius Busham. Call sign KT. He has a lot of rolls and no coffee on the first attempt. Number 2 of 2 coming up. Nails that one. Delahousse uses the screen to his advantage, sets up, shoots, and can't get it to go. Another foul in the paint. as Hilario Malala tried to drive to the rim. And the railman saying no easy buckets in this ball game. Malala squares off and drains the first of 2 free throws. Rebound for Beira. Chance to tie the ball game on this one single possession. Lally dishes off out to the far wing, and at the buzzer, three-pointer comes up short. Dolphins moving quickly, and quickly indeed. The ball is stuffed by Ngaiza. Cisco Ngaiza rattles one home. Boucham, mid-range jumper, good. Delahousse. Delahousse comes back, make himself serviceable. Leaves it to Ngaiza, and Ngaiza didn't quite have the adjustment, but Dominic Thomas certainly did, and he drains the net for another bucket for the Dolphins. A three-pointer from the top of the arc. And Elvis Huana cannot get it to go, and we'll have a timeout called. Pardon, we have the end of the first quarter. That has been an absolute famous start for the team from Botswana, as the Dolphins rather unexpectedly find themselves with a 5-point lead against the tournament undefeated Mozambicans. Ferroviario de Beira. And that will certainly be a point of contention for Coach Hernandez. We'll enjoy a minute and a half of a break and pick it up with the beginning of the second quarter. You're watching the Road to B.A.L 2026, Group E, out of the East Division. Shout out to the scorers we saw at the quarter break working the score table. Long days requiring attention to detail and the utmost of attention. And you can absolutely not run a tournament without professionals behind the scoring table. Elvis Huana leads the Railway men back out onto the hardwood. Dominic Thomas to inbound for the Dolphins. Just need to be on the right side of the timeline. Delahousse, the man from Louisiana in the United States, gets things going. three-pointer as the Dolphins try to open things up with a bang in the second quarter. Will not fall. And the Mozambicans will enjoy first possession of the second stanza. Novella gets the ball right back. Flips one down into the paint, kicked out to Huana, and he nails a three-pointer. Jumper taken from the wing. And Ngaiza unable to connect. There's a foul called, and Dela Hussein will travel to the foul line. Looks as he's shooting a technical foul. Did not pick up what the infraction was. A 3-point lead now for the Dolphins. And the Locomotives try to get their engine chugging here in the second quarter of play. Running the ball around the horn, back down. Oh, even the front row is up and at 'em. A big slam dunk to open things up. Tie score. And an errant ball goes out of bounds. Hilario Malale trying to pick up the ball on a fast break, unable to do so, and will revert to Dolphins. I said tie score, but I noticed that unless a slam dunk counts for 3 points in this competition, which it doesn't, it was going to be a 1-point lead, and that's already been corrected on the scoreboard. Hats off to the streaming team on Venue, bringing these pictures to us. We've been fighting gremlins all week in the system, and the internet connection's been a troublesome factor. But so far we've had excellent pictures, and we're thankful for that. Running one-hander, floated up by Malala. Pardon, not by Malala, but Dekesu. Arching pass goes into the high post. Ball rotation. And finally, chance by Hilario Malale, the one and only. He is off the mark. Gaborone. And a lovely exclamation point put on that offensive possession by Ngaiza. Malali hampered as he made his way towards the basket. Foul is called, presumably, against Cisco and Ngaiza. to Beira to inbound. Lose possession on the out of bounds to the Mozambicans. Dolphins basketball club. Bring the ball up the floor. Switch brings the ball into the hands of De La Houssaye. Three-point attempt. It's no good. First of two attempts. For Ismail Nurmamade. Dolphins' lead is shrunk to 2. Layup and in, and the Dolphins extend the lead back out. From the wing, a little too strong. The Dolphins have to back it back out. A lot of buckets in transition for the team from Botswana. This time they'll have to set up a regular offense. Come up short on that one off the attempt of Dominic Thomas. Shot from Chiromba off the mark. All by his lonesome. Dominic Thomas, the versatile swingman, puts it up and in. As Malale sees his attempt getting into a run and gun period. Oh, he'll be not happy with himself about that miss. And yet another bucket from close by. This time for Ramabu. And there's a timeout called. 7-point lead for the Dolphins in this first fixture of the day from the Nasdaq Center in Lusaka, facing off against Ferroviario de Beira. And Josh Thomas once again running the point. Thomas gave the ball up a little too easily. And a wonderful fast break layup from Adewanya. Dolphins once again pilfering the ball from the Railway men. Going down and trying to get himself out of the way was Adewanya. Kega brought the ball up the floor for the Dolphins. Thomas stuck to it for all he was worth and just couldn't manage to eke a basket out of that possession. Flip back to Thomas, to top of the key. And I'm not sure who Mungwambe was targeting. But the ball goes out of bounds. As Botswana has built up a 9-point lead with 3:45 left to go in the first half. Guys, a step back jumper, no good. Huana can't get it to fall. Foul in the paint. Ndawan Yana is at the line to shoot a couple of free throws. Kasoba, Ndawayana. Do not want to short him one syllable. Josh Thomas flips the ball out to Huana and transitions over the other side. Back to Huana and Thomas finally. Thomas has the ball tapped away, out of bounds. Still green ball. Long three will not go down. Thomas takes the ball up into the wing. Tossed into the low post, and there was Ubisa. He's fouled in the act and will take up position 15 away from the backboard. Bisa Gets a free throw to fall. Ramabu. Was fouled. Will now inbound the ball. No, he'll be part of that inbounding team. Dawanyana trying to get the handle on it, and handle he gets, and backdoors one. Lovely bucket by Ndawanyana. Biasa pulled up for the jumper. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the first half of play. Dolphins basketball club still maintaining that lead over the favorite, the Railway team from Beira. Josh Thomas, of course, to inbound. Thomas pulls up and lofts one into the bucket. Certainly like to dig into that margin a bit before the halftime break. Air ball from Dawanyana. Jones flips it over to Boucham, who connects. There's a shot from distance in the act of shooting a three-pointer. Rather, fouled in the act of shooting a three-pointer. Now, Tuto Gabaroni will step up to the line to shoot 3 free throws. Misses on the first 2, and the old adage is third time's the charm. Gabaroni, who brings that youthful energy to the Dolphins side, squares off, tries to shake off the first 2 misses, and does so. He drains the third one. 1 minute remaining. Thomas forgot to take the ball with him before he entered the lane. Goes all the way back up court to pick the ball up himself. That's called taking a team and strapping it on your shoulders, and he's let loose to lay one in. And the Railway men get a bit of spark out of Joshua Thomas. The give and go did not turn out so well for the Dolphins, but they're going to get a second chance here. Oyama leaves one behind, and it's rounded off nicely. Now they are still showing the flair they've shown since the early part of the ball game are the Dolphins. And with under 10 seconds remaining, the Railwaymen would like to try to trim that deficit just a little bit before we take the break. From the wing, missing, and no chance for another shot from the Dolphins. But they've had enough shots in the first half of play and have capitalized on plenty of them. 42-34, the halftime score, and who'd have thunk it? Not a whole lot of people on hand, and even yours truly did not expect the Dolphins to perform to this level. Bodes well for the second half. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back after a bit for resumption of activities from the NASDAQ Center in Lusaka, Namibia. Zambia, rather. We are watching the road to the B.A.L 2016 on the FIFA YouTube channel. We'll be back after a break. And we're ready to get the third quarter underway with the Dolphins Basketball Club from Botswana leading Ferroviario de Beira from Mozambique. By a count of 42-34, that 8-point lead sitting well with the Dolphins as they look to pick up their first win of the tournament against the up until now undefeated Railway men from De Beira. And continuing their winning ways is Ngaiza. Pops a field goal to get things started here in the third quarter of play. Josh Thomas running the ball now for the Mozambicans. One American to another as he swings the ball out to Boucham. De Beira will relinquish possession of the basketball. Ramabu. Guys, it kicks it out to the far wing. Three-pointer put up. And ball cleared out by Josh Thomas. Thomas trying to will his way to the basket. Is fouled out of the way. And if any points are on offer from this possession, they'll have to come from 15 feet from the backboard. Thomas, born in the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. Played his college basketball just about an hour's drive north of Chicago in Milwaukee for the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee. Before taking his basketball skills abroad. Seen parts of the world he may not have otherwise had the opportunity to visit. Wonderful opportunity for young men. Apologies for a little bit of the internet gremlins creeping into the system. All put up from the top of the arc by Mngwabi. Three-pointer will help the green team make a comeback in the ball game for sure. Drive to the basket. Lots of those successful in the first half for the Dolphins. This time they come up empty. Thomas kicks one out to the wing. They'll wait for reinforcements to arrive. Ball handed back to Thomas by Obisa, and Thomas drains a three-pointer. Moves quickly as the Dolphins' lead has now been cut to 3, 44-41 the count. Well, put the curse on that one in the positive sense for the Dolphins. They put a three-pointer in of their own, and now we're just trading buckets. Ooh, this is fun. All brought over the timeline by Dawanyana. Ngaiza gets tangled up in the paint, and a foul is called on the play. As big old Elton Ubisa came over to shut things down. Cisco Ngaiza. at the free throw line to shoot a pair. And the lefty drains 2 of 2. From the far wing. And a three-pointer for the Dolphins does fall. That's Delahousse. Thomas, turnaround jumper from the free throw line will not fall. Thomas had a crack at it, couldn't get it to go. And Josh Thomas trying to put the Mozambican team on his back and carry him to a little bit of a comeback here in the third quarter, but still, Dolphins have a lead that I don't think a whole lot of people expected them to have. Weaving his way to the basket, but unable to round off was Ndaiwanyana. Kick out to Wada. And the Locomotives coming up empty. Delahousse trying to add another 3 points to the score sheet. Ndaiwanyana coming up empty. And now all of a sudden the big guns have gone cold on both sides. Josh Thomas, yes sir, off the glass. Five minutes and change left to go in the third period. Chikega. Gwambe to Josh Thomas. Thomas cross-court pass intercepted, as is off the case. Ill-advised. Dolphins trying to present a check for the damage. And they pick up 2 points on the possession off the turnover thanks to Ndaiwanyana. Tie up inside. It's going to be a foul called against Dominic Thomas. And the big man, Elton Nubisa, will head to the charity stripe and shoot a pair. Substitution, and Oriaki will take over the free throw responsibilities from Ubisa. Finally, somebody gets a handle on the ball, and it's the Locomotives, as Josh Thomas is tied up in the paint and called for a traveling violation. Ball too short for Ndawanyana. Good looking three-pointer. That will be very welcomed by Ferroviario. Away from the ball called. Long cross-court pass. Air ball tossed up by Chikega. Apologies once again for some buffering issues. Very difficult to talk to the pictures when the stream is skipping along. I can better just hold my breath and wait for the conditions to improve. 4-point ball game now. Thomas, lovely field goal for Josh Thomas. Nelahuse defers. Ndawanyana fouled in the act of shooting. One of two free throws, and just about 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Bucket will fall for the Railway men. Geiza trying to make his way to the basket, hampered along the way, and he'll get an all-expenses trip to the charity stripe. Geiza with the second of two free throws. And it's a 2-point ball game once again. Elton Ubisa. Big fella at the line. Goes 1 for 2. Alley-oop is not complete. All tied up at 58 apiece. Thomas, they tried to whip one out to the far wing, and it was a little too much mustard on that one. Turnover with just over a minute remaining here in the third quarter, and things have heated up considerably in Lusaka. All tied up, headed towards the fourth quarter of play. From distance, Geiza offline. Fast break is about the same result for the team in green. As the Dolphins would like to take a lead into the quarter break, and 2 points are already in the pocket with a possibility of a third coming up. As Kesoba Dawanyana heads to the free throw line to shoot one. So a 3-point possession for the Dolphins with 30 seconds remaining. 61-58 is the score at the moment. Thomas, step up jumper, leaves it short. Dolphins look to close out the third with a bang. And they still get another shot at it. Still 11 7/10 of a second remaining on the clock, and they'll inbound under their basket. Well, maybe not a bang, but certainly a positive result as the comebacker is put back up and in by Ramabu. And he'll get a chance to make that a three-pointer with 9.2 seconds left. Botsili Ramabu at the line for one. Yes, indeed. (64-58). And time will expire. And the Dolphins close out the third quarter of play with a 6-point lead, 64-58. The Dolphins leading Ferroviario de Beira will be rejoining in just after this break. 2-minute break. Ready to get things started here in the fourth quarter with the Dolphins Basket Club leading Ferroviario de Beira by a count of 64-58. As Malali kicks one out to the wing. And Boucham ran out of playing surface and got his heel on the out-of-bounds line. Did Katerius Boucham. And he comes up and atones for his sins by stealing the ball back from the Dolphins. Boucham, who we have not seen a great deal of. I think he's being used a bit sparingly today. A difficult trip to the basket rewarded with a two-pointer for Ramabu. Novella. Three-pointer from the far side is good. And the Railwaymen cut the deficit to 3 points. Well, it's blocked, but I believe Ubisa is rung up for the foul. And at the line to shoot a pair is Cisco Ngaiza. The lefty delivers on the first of two charity tosses. Good looking three-pointer from Novella. Swung in the low post, little give and go, but the go was less successful than what they had desired. Boucham brings the ball up the court. Malali. Lovely pass from Boucham, but unfortunately Bisa couldn't do anything with it. Ngaiza. Well, the baseline had been shut down by Ubisa. Fulfilling that role as the rim protector. Guys are back up top, pops one for three, can't get it to go. Boucham slings one out to the far side, drive at the baseline, and the back door was closed, but there is a foul. So Ayad Mungwambe is denied the entry, but will have the opportunity to either tie or take back the lead, depending on his accuracy from the free throw line. And we are all tied at 67 apiece. Delahousse pops from the free throw line, comes up short. Dolphins tried to save the ball from going out of bounds. Were unable to do so. Flips the ball down to Abuse, gets it right back. Wabe tries one from three. The three-point attempt for the Dolphins is unsuccessful. Novella from three-point land. Wabe dishes off to Ubisa, who dishes off in succession. And just an absolute melee under the bucket. In the last instance, it was Katerius Busham trying to salvage some points out of that offensive possession for the Railway men. As it stands with 6:20 left to play, we're still knotted up at 67 apiece. I know somewhere in the world there must be a bunch of school-age kids laughing incessantly as the number 67 seems to be the flavor of the day. The buzzer. Mabu tripped up. Goes down hard, actually. Watsile Ramabu. This is his first free throw attempt. Number 2 is not much better. Novella connects from three-point land, and it's been a minute, but the Mozambicans are in the lead. Guys kind of got lost on the way to the rim and will come up wholly empty. Have a timeout. About 5.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Yeah, for the first time in memory, Ferroviario de Beira is back in the lead and in possession. Busham. And ball is up and in. I don't know if that counted or if we had a foul before the act. I believe the former. As the railway men line up to inbound. Bisa, big man, puts one in off the glass. Nelahuse brings the ball up to the wing. And Dolphins come up empty. 5-point ball game. Malale running the point. Busham defers, and a three-pointer is off the side of the backboard and out of bounds. Delahuse trying to make something out of a difficult situation, and Geiza with the follow. And if any points are on offer, they're going to come from the free throw line. Geiza with the second of two. Dolphins looking for their first victory in the tournament. Lost the opener to home side Matero Magic. 68-59, lost on day number 2 to Bravehearts from Malawi by a count of 68-59. And lost a match yesterday to the only other undefeated team in the tournament. That's the Giants from Joburg, dropping that one by a score of 55-36. Fortunes have been certainly better for the team now in possession. Ferroviario de Beira winning all 3 games, opening up with a first day win against the Basket Hounds, 94-60. Defeated Matero Magic on their home soil, 94-83, and yesterday in a spirited match against, or in a match against the spirited Bravehearts, let's put it that way, once again for the 3rd consecutive day, scoring 94 points to the Bravehearts 88, picking up the 3rd win for them in the tournament. Doubt very much we'll see 94 today unless something really opens up on the score sheet for the team from Mozambique. But right now, it is Ramabu at the line to shoot a couple of free throws. Tough break because at this juncture the Dolphins can ill afford to miss any opportunities. Wonderful assist from Busham and a wonderful follow. That time from Mungwabe. Three-pointers offline for the Dolphins. They're having difficulty scoring at the moment. That's not going to be helpful in trying to break that winless streak they've established here in Lusaka. Three-pointer from distance, off the mark. Steal by Mugwambe. And just about took the rim off. As the Railwaymen trying to put some distance between themselves and the Dolphins. As we close in on the 2-minute mark. Josh Thomas tries to float one, comes up short. Geiza puts one off the glass and is fouled in the act. Yeah, we'll get a timeout with 2:03 left to go. Opportunity for both teams to discuss the strategy for the waning minutes of the ball game. Geiza with a couple of really important free throws, and he gets the first of two. Don't know if he called the bank on that one or not, but it's going to count all the same. And it's a 6-point game. So back to 2 possessions for the Dolphins, but they're going to have to shut down the Locomotives. Josh Thomas drops one back to Abisa, and boy, what a good time for the big man to pick up the stroke as he drops a field goal from about 15 away. Under 1.5 minutes left to go. And the Dolphins are going to have to force the issue. It's a 3-possession game at best. Boucham fouled, or did he travel before being fouled? The latter will be the case. So the Dolphins back in possession. They're going to have to be a little bit more expedient than they were last time they had the ball. Trying to set up your offense and run it. They're getting plenty of pressure already. They're met at the timeline by Ferroviario. Ill-advised pass, but it's really going to turn out to be a costly turnover. Malali. Hussein wiped off by the screen set by Ubisa. In the meantime, a foul. And with 40 seconds left to go, hope is waning away for the Dolphins. Ferroviario looks set to take their 4th consecutive win here in the tournament. Mali, Guambe, Ubisa, big man gonna try for a 3-pointer and he nails it. And that is more than likely the last nail in the coffin. Putbacker won't fall either. And possession for Ferroviario. And that should be just about all she wrote. Well, emphatic close in the scoring as Elton Ubisa nails a 3-pointer. Looks like Ferroviario wants to get one of the reserve Spalers out on the floor before the end of the game. And indeed, Euclides Menge will get a couple of seconds of playing time. And the Dolphins will resort to fouling, but it's going to be too little too late. As Eladio Malale heads to the free throw line. And this is the first half of a 2-shot trip. And everyone complacent just to see the air let out of the ball. And the clock runs down. And Ferroviario de Beira from Mozambique will move to 4-0 for the tournament. The Dolphins remain without a win. Will have one last chance tomorrow as they square off against, afraid I have the incorrect date set up here. In any case, they gave it a noble try, and they led for the lion's share of the ball game, did the Dolphins, which is a shame because it will certainly deflate them on the day. They'll need to try to recompose and come back tomorrow in order to try to get that first win of the tournament. But for Ferroviario, they look to close out in fantastic fashion and secure their place in the Elite 16. So the Dolphins will do it one more time. They play the first fixture tomorrow here in the NASDAQ Sports Complex in Lusaka against the Hounds. And Ferroviario will close out in what should prove to be one of the classics of the tournament, as they will face Joburg and the Giants, and we'll see how Joburg fares in their matchup this evening here against the home side Matero Magic. But at 2 o'clock is the second fixture of the day, and we welcome you back to have a look at that when the Basket Hounds take on the Bravehearts with a 2 o'clock local, pardon, a 1 o'clock local time tip-off. And hopefully you'll be able to join us for that one as well. Until then, we thank you for watching. You've been watching the Road to B.A.L 2026 here on FIBA's YouTube channel. Till the next time, so long.
Foi um bom jogo. Foi um bom jogo porque sabíamos que esse jogo era tão importante em relação aos outros jogos.
Yeah, he said the game today it was so important that the other games.
E sabíamos que nós já vínhamos com 3 vitórias e Dolphins não tinha vitória e precisava de correr mais para que ganhasse o jogo. E jogando com a nossa equipa, eles galvanizaram-se.
Yeah, the Dolphins, we have 3 winnings. The Dolphins didn't want to now, and because of that, they have the motivation to beat us.
E parabenizar mesmo a equipa do Dolphins porque hoje se bateu diferente e sentimos algumas dificuldades. E isso foi muito importante para nós porque desde que começamos a jogar nunca ficamos tanto tempo a correr atrás do resultado.
This was the first game we lost 3 quarters. Only in the end we go forward.
Em algum momento isso faz crescer uma equipa. Então nós tínhamos que ir buscar o resultado. Então tínhamos que fazer um esforço a mais.
From this moment we need to go follow the winning. It was hard for us.
Então por ali, então tínhamos que ter um bocadinho mais de calma. E nesse tipo de jogo que estamos a jogar com uma equipa teoricamente fraca, precisamos estar 100% ou 200% concentrados. E hoje nós tivemos.
The kind of team we need to be 100% concentrated. If you don't do that, you're not going to win.
So I agree with you, Coach. You started a bit slow. You lost 3 quarters, and I wanted to ask what could have led to the slow start today? Because we haven't seen Beira trailing for 3 quarters. So what could have led to that?
Ansiedade.
Well, I don't know, probably think we already win the game without playing.
E a ansiedade de naquele momento querer resolver e algumas coisas foram falhando e sempre é assim quando estamos a jogar com uma equipa teoricamente pequena, a tendência sempre é de relaxar.
When you play a team with Dolphins don't win any game. When you play with that kind of team, your brain is slowly. In a few moments you're going to resolve the problem, but today not like that.
Então, persistência e dedicação, equipa, o grupo é muito forte. Então, de parabéns aos meus jogadores.
These players, they are too strong. They know they need to change the ship.
E nós estamos há 1 ano que não competimos. Então, estamos a fazer 4 jogos consecutivos a ganhar acima de 80 pontos. É super.
We are playing game every day. We don't have a competition. 1 year without competing. This kind of like power championship didn't start yet. In every game we score more than 80 points. The team is brilliant. The players are focused to go to ball.
Let's now get to the players themselves. Obviously, like the coach was saying, today's challenge